Hello everybody and welcome, my name is Ursa Ryan, and do you want to see something rather weird with this start of this Civilization 6 game? You ready for it? Ready for something strange? Ta-da! This is what I like to call a hot mess, and this should be very fun. Let me explain to you a little bit about what we've got going on today. Now, faithful viewers of the channel will have seen that just before this series I played one with Sumeria where we used this mod, the Historical Spawn Dates mod, and it was an absolute joy. I loved it. I've never enjoyed a mod more than this one. It has been fantastic. What it does is chronologically it adds civilizations into the game based on a set date for either the civ appearing in real life or the leader existing in real life. So in our game, Sumeria and Babylon were right at the beginning of the game, and as the game progressed you had people like Scythia and then Portugal and then Scotland appearing chronologically as you went through. We played Sumeria right from the beginning of the game and we really enjoyed it as the world developed and evolved around us. We were on the game really early, and then things got more complicated. Today, I'm playing as Arabia, and this is 640 AD on turn 143, and we're only just getting started. I have had to sit here for 143 turns as the computer has auto-played this map. What is the map? Well, we are playing on Deity++. That is a mode 2 levels of difficulty more difficult than regular Deity, just to give us a little bit of a spice, so whatever the difference is between Emperor and Deity, we've done that again. It's standard speed. I've got Secret Societies in today because I wanted something a little bit different, and as you can see, it is a 12-player, huge continents and islands map with all of these settings. Remember, if replicating this game is a little bit too tricky, come along to Discord because I keep the literal save file in Discord for you to come and play. Copy and paste it onto your computer. I've even got all the mods that I use. I have about 40 user interface mods, which is why my game looks a little bit different to usual. For instance, I've got updated climate change, I've got better great work screens. A lot of people ask me why I use so many mods, and some of them are quality of life, but others, honestly, because I put this onto YouTube, it's easier for people to see a lot of the detail without me having to sort of go into submenus all the time. So for instance, up here you can see the happiness of all of my cities. That's for the YouTube audience, so that's so you can see what I'm doing without me needing to go into every city all the time. But I'm playing Arabia because the historical spawn date is 632 AD, and as I played the Sumeria game, I had a very successful religion. The religion meant that I was getting a ton of science that spread through the world without me needing to build a single campus. That game was one of the more successful ones that I've played in some time, and it got me thinking, how crazy a scientific religious combo could we get? And that drew me back to Arabia. Now, we've played as the updated version of Saladin recently because there was a new version in the Leaders Pass, and I never really gave Arabia the time of day. It's one of those civilizations I just didn't play. For whatever reason, we had so many to choose from when the game first came out, I never really found any love for them, but this couldn't be more close to my style of play. Very faith heavy, using that faith to play anything else, and Saladin and Arabia has amazing abilities. Most importantly, I get science for every foreign city following my religion, and I get a madrasa, which is a wonderful university replacement which gives me faith equal to my campus adjacencies. Combine that with a bargain discount worship building that I can add for 10% of the usual cost, and it gives me 10% bonus faith, science, and culture in any city I've got it in. Arabia can produce crazy amounts of science. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get started. I'm going to go from turn 143. I don't know what the map looks like. It is a huge map. I am, I believe, the 6th person to spawn into this game, so we're exactly halfway through. Some people are doing very well. There is some information I can glean. For instance, all of these wonders have already been built, and I love this. I'm starting in the middle, slap bang in the middle of the medieval era. Pretty much all of the ancient and classical world has been built. Civilizations that came years before me have built all of these wonders, and there's nothing I can do about them. I love that. It's actually, this feels closer to me stepping into a real life game, like, you know, further than I've ever done before. I love it. The ancient and classical worlds have been and gone. What will I find on this map? I can also see a few other things. I can see, if I go through the great people, 5 prophets have been taken already, so religion will be on the map. I can see that quite a few great people have been and gone. Quite a few engineers and writers and scientists. Quite a varied mix, actually. Nothing's really been jumped on more than anything else, but a lot of writers have gone, so we've got a very cultural game. I just can't wait to have a look and get stuck into this game. Remember, come to Discord, get the save file, come and explore it with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. What will a turn 143 start? What will it have in store for me? I don't know. Looking through my tech tree, the game has given me a selection of techs based on what the AI has already researched. So actually, we have a couple of industrial era techs. That's kind of worrying. Deity++, this mode, this is crazy difficulty. The AI has insanely good bonuses, and the fact that it's given me right the way up to the industrial era in terms of tech means the AI is doing very well. Is Babylon in the game? No one's sure, but Babylon is normally in the game, and that could explain why. That's why, actually, I've got upgraded up to cavalry. I do have scientific theory, but I am missing a couple of other techs. I don't know what cartography is. For instance, I haven't industrialized yet. Civics are also kind of unusual. I like the fact that AI misses out on naval tradition just like we do. We haven't unlocked any government, so monarchy, merchant republic, theocracy, none of those are good options for me, but I have gone all the way to civil engineering, which is wonderful, so public works is an option for us. I've already found Cahokia. I've got a Pantheon ready to unlock. As you can see, I have a load of great people that I can immediately hire in, and I'll explain that to you roundabout now. So the good thing about this mod, this historical spawn days, is as people spawn into the game, it gives them a bunch of tech, gives them a bunch of civics based on what's happening in the world. It gives them a bunch of faith and gold. Look at that, I've got 51,000 gold in my treasury. How? Oh, that's brilliant. That means actually I should be able to pick up a couple of great people based on what I want and supercharge my cities to catch up into the game a little bit. I've got 8 governor titles. Oh, I've got the Knights of Solomon Secret Society mod on. That's the only other gameplay mode, game-changing mod I have on, I believe. It's a Secret Society I really wanted to have a go with because I just missed playing them. It's a Secret Society based around religion and religious combat. I don't know if we're going to be really using much combat today, but I'll show you that in a little bit. I just thought it was really fun. We've got 11 envoys. We've started with some horses and some iron. I like the idea. It doesn't look like I've spawned next to anybody. What I was kind of hoping is that I would spawn right on top of another civilization and break away from them, so kind of steal a couple of cities from them, but it doesn't look like that's happened so far. Looks like actually all of my units that have spawned in. I've got line infantry, cavalry. I've got at least one copy of my Mamluk, my unique unit. I'm actually in a heroic age as well. It started me in a heroic age, and I've got Exodus of the Evangelists, I've got Monumentality, and I've got Pen, Brush, and Voice. So I went for culture and religious benefits. And the way the mod works as well is that I am currently in the medieval era, which means I am in era number 3. As long as I have 3 cities or less, my city will have a super monument in it. And the good thing about a super monument is that I build things very quickly. So there's a kind of logic to maybe sticking with 3 cities for a few turns before going to settle out further, but I don't actually know if that's a good move or not. You know what? First thing, let's just explore around a little bit. Move a couple of these units out so we can explore just around the map, and I can really try and see what I'm dealing with. One of the biggest problems is going to be finding a space for all of my units on the map, but actually it looks like I can. Where do I want my cavalry to go? My cavalry's got the most movement. Looks like there's another river down there. Maybe I'll go and see what's down in this direction. Okay, look, there is some stuff. Wow, that's been flooded a few times. Oh, this is the best bit about this map. There's been fires, there's been floods, there's been tornadoes, and these things have already been and gone around the map, so there's stuff for me to find. Like, look at the yields of that floodplain. That's amazing. Enough talking. Let's get started. But before we get started today, a quick update on something concerning. Here is Ursa Bear. Ursa Bear was unfairly expelled from Oxford University's Civ 6 program. Ursa Bear now has 30,000 signatures, and with that, magical powers were bestowed upon him to see the invisible. And Ursa Bear noticed something. An invisible, kind, helpful man. A man called Paul. Don't let Ursa Bear be distracted by the terrible spy Paul. Help Ursa Bear focus on Sankor. Will you subscribe today? Thank you, and back to the video. I was going to say turn 1, but it's turn 143, effectively turn 1. Looking at this start, it is a legendary start position, so we knew we were going to get a little bit of stuff. Looks like I've got silk, I've got jade, I've got, 2 copies of jade, 2 copies of silk, so not a huge variety in luxuries, but I do have strategics. 2 copies of niter, I've got at least 1 source of horse. Nope, 2, and I've got iron as well. So I've got all of the strategics covered. That's lovely. The main thing I almost want to do is actually actually make sure that where I put my cities, I've got some good variation. Doesn't look like I've got much in the way of mountains, which sucks a little bit because I was going to go crazy faith-focused. I'm also looking at that niter, and I'm thinking already with one source of niter, 2 there, I've got some stone over on that tile as well. And there, if I remove that cattle and plop down an industrial zone on that tile, yeah, I reckon we can come up with some crazy little patterns around here. If I were to plop a city down over in these areas, I could then aqueduct over again. Looks like there's at least a dam or 2 that I can put down here. Yeah, I like the idea of settling on top of the niter. It gives me the strategic immediately, but it also gives me the options of aqueducting away from it, and also putting a district over a strategic will free up a lot of space around me. So let's plop down my first city and get started there. Cairo, 5 population, and let's see, is the super monument in? Did I get this right? Yes, there it is. Okay, so this won't last very long, but whilst it does last, it'll be very useful. Basically, loyalty pressure from all of my citizens until the era threshold has been met is almost unassailable. I cannot lose cities whilst this is in effect, and districts cost 50% less to produce in all cities. So as I've got less cities, I will produce districts very, very fast, which is good because I've only got 7 production and already districts are worth 267 production. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Oh, but already I have made a mistake. And I'm going to redo this because what I needed to do was select a government and pop the public works card in first because I've just spawned 2 builders in and they should have 5 charges, not 3. Whoopsie. Right, let me just try that again. Right, attempt 2. This time I'm going to pick a government first. So I went autocracy last time. It's okay, but I'm not going to be building huge amounts of wonders early game. I'm going to go classical republic because oligarchy is all about war. I don't really know who anybody is at the moment. So if I could pick a government, that would be great. But I don't know if it's going to even let me pick a government right now. I might have to get myself at least 1 civic before I can change governments. No matter. Let's get public works. There are our builders. And I mean, gold's not really going to be a bit of an issue, is it? I think for now, I'm just going to go logistics just until I work out what's going on. A little bit of extra movement per turn for people starting in my own territory. Oh, look, there we go. Then I can change governments. I might be able to do that next turn. Doesn't matter. For now, there's Cairo, as expected, as predicted before. Oh, it didn't even work. There you go. My builders are stuck on 3 charges. Never mind. Okay, well, in that case, I was going to put down a industrial zone on that tile, I believe, assuming I've unlocked it. I have unlocked it. That's good. I'm just going to flick over to cartography as well instead. But if I get this builder over and I harvest this resource like so, gives me 6 population to work at the beginning, then I can go over and improve that niter, then plonk down my industrial zone like so. I'm also going to pop down an aqueduct just to lock in the production bonus, and I do want to get a holy site down as well. I guess if I worked out what Pantheon I wanted, maybe that would help me a little bit with where I want to put my holy sites, because there is technically 2 here. I could get Dance of the Aurora, I could get Sacred Path. Looks like I've got Rainforest below me, so there is an option actually to use Sacred Path a little bit for some holy sites. I don't normally keep Rainforest. I'll be honest, I normally chop it down for the food, but it could be a good excuse. What options have we got? Looks like we've got the pastures option for extra culture. We've got camps for food and production. That's a good favourite of the channel, that one, and there is at least 1 camp nearby. God of Craftsmen available as well. Production and faith from the niter, as well as this iron and the horses around me, so that's not a bad idea either. City Patron Goddess, production towards districts and cities without a specialty district. That would help me get off the ground quickly as well. A Divine Spark would help me with great people, but I don't think that's a huge issue when I've got 51,000 gold in the bank. Oh, I dread to think how far behind I'm going to be. The game's just given me all of this stuff and it's like, yeah, sure, it's not overpowered at all. That worries me. Yeah, Holy Site adjacency is going to be problematic. I don't believe Arabia gets anything for Holy Site adjacency, does it? No, it doesn't. So I'm tempted to just go River Goddess. 2 amenities, 2 housing to all holy sites is a huge bonus and basically increases all of my yields in the city by about 10%, which stacking on top of the 10% I'm getting, I can get some big science points with River Goddess. So yeah, I'm going to do that. That's fine. Oh, now I can see the religions. So Islam has been taken already. Awkward. Sikhism's been taken, so we've lost Feed the World, choral music's gone, warrior monks is gone, and divine inspiration as well as military zeal. I did also see Watts have been taken, which is a little bit annoying. Sikhism's on 9 cities, Taoism's on 2, Catholicism's on 1. There are religions on this map, they're not exactly crazy. Work ethic is still available, Jesuit education is still available, and more importantly, the science religious aspect is still available, and that's the one I was really looking forward to using, so that in itself is good. I'm just going to move my settlers out a little bit just to explore. There's a CAD. Interesting. So I'm the first person to meet both a CAD and Cahokia. That is unexpected. Let's think about the great people I've got. I've got Imhotep. Oh, I love that. So Imhotep is on side. I have a great merchant that gives me trade routes to city-states. That's useful. I've got a great writer. Useful. And I have my prophet. I might as well just use these to explore for now. There's nothing else really to use with them, and they're very, very quick. Actually, I say that. I could have put a great work of writing in my land. We'll go back and do that next turn. That was a silly mistake. Governors. I'm going to take Knights of Solomon because I just really fancied a game with it. Let me show you Knights of Solomon. So Chaplain. This is the first promotion. When you take it, you get 1 profit point and 1 general point per turn. So early game, it's really good to get a religion and that first great general. Apostles gain the Orator promotion. So my apostles have 2 extra charges when spreading, which is useful, and cities with a shrine have a trade route capacity if there's not already a market or a lighthouse, so holy sites give me trade routes. That is quite good. I now have the Temple of Solomon as well, a powerful replacement for the temple. Effectively, if it's in a city, I get 25% production towards military land units, and I gain gold from my faith adjacency. It would be better, but I'm not going to have huge faith adjacency, to be absolutely honest with you. I think that could be a bit problematic. There are a couple of +1 sites around my land. This one's on a river and it's pretty useless, so I'm tempted just to quickly pop that down. Yeah, let's get the holy site down. The sooner I finish it, the quicker I can get a religion, so that works quite nicely. And let's get monarchy. I won't stick on monarchy for long, but it's better than classical republic, and we'll go theocracy after that because I want my faith reduction. Wow, what a first turn. What an absolute mess. I've spawned into the game. This is pretty good. Taoism has just been spread to a city over there, so somebody is in that direction spreading a new religion. We don't necessarily like that, do we? We're going to have to go and meet them. China, 158 science per turn, 210 culture per turn. Oh my lord. Yes, I'd love to sample your hospitality. Oh man, what is happening over here? Are you at war with somebody? You are at war with somebody. You've got 8 cities. Oh my lord, I've spawned into a game that seems to be very much at war with itself. There is a settler on the way over. I think I'm going to make a little trifectorate of cities in order to keep myself safe. I always do this. I always end up using and abusing the best tiles in my empire, but I'm going to aqueduct down to there. I'm going to put a dam on that river tile. That means I've now opened up more possibilities for industrial zones. I would like to keep that quarry ideally, so that means that I've got an industrial zone that I can plop down there, and then I've got one that I can plop down there. Okay, that's a pretty decent arrangement of cities, but I think we're going to make these 3 cities first. Kind of stops China from really sitting on me too heavily, which I quite like, but I am going to have to explore around in their direction because I don't want to be crammed in. It's not a lot of extra gold, but I'm going to spend a little bit of my 51k to get Joan of Arc. I already had some general points towards her, but she will massively improve my cavalry. So in case China does decide to go to war with me, I have at least 1 unit that I can use to block that off. I'm not going to bother with the other ones for now. Although James of St. George actually is relatively tempting. I could use James of St. George to get myself a bit more defense. Now, gold is not a problem for me, so I'm not actually going to trade with Cahokia just yet. I think I'm going to leave off that one. I didn't use any of my other governors as well. Armani, I want you to pop out and go and explore Cahokia. I want to go and see what's behind it, and I think I'm going to start with Pingala. Let's just jump in immediately and go connoisseur, researcher. Then I've got 2 more governor titles. I'm not going to get grants. I'm going to instead get myself Magnus and then use some of my gold to buy in settlers. I think that's probably the best thing I can do. Also not working all the tiles in my city. I'm not used to starting on 6 population at all. So what I'm going to do is buy a couple of tiles in as I improve them. So for instance, this little woodland tile, I can just immediately go and put a lumber mill on to get the Eureka. But I can also get this quarry up quickly because the yields on that are pretty good, and I need it for all of my industrial zones around it. So, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, big. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles been worked. So I might as well just actually spend a little bit of gold and get this one, that one, that one, that one. That's going to be enough. I don't want to waste all of my gold, but just making sure my capital can actually work stuff is a huge difference. 39 production already. Hey, that's awesome. Can I get a builder in? Nope, because I've got a great general on there. You know what? Actually, I want my capital to be as good as I can. So let's get the watermill in. Let's get the granary in. There we go. Then it's going to grow. That's good. I need this to be a super city as quickly as I can get it. Oh, yep. I was just in time to see the fleeting remnants of the Chinese Empire as they be gobbled up by Scythia. Oh my lord, that's pretty nasty. I can buy some luxuries from them though, whilst they still have them. I'll just take advantage of that because I don't think they're going to be holding on to those for very long. Oh, okay, you need to move your unit off that tile, friend. I would like to settle that pretty quickly. Muscat down to the south. Interesting. You know what? Actually, I'm going to just quickly plop 1 envoy into Cahokia just to go and see what's beyond that way. I'm going to put 2 into Akkad, do the same thing. Muscat's much better protected. I might just wait on that one for a second. My first great work, though, it's there. It's only 2 culture per turn, but hey, when I've only got 6 science and 6 culture, and China's being absolutely brutally attacked by Scythia here. They still have well over 10 times and 20 times my science and culture per turn. So this is going to be a bit of a catch-up job. So I just saw Rome is trading with China. I actually do have all of the list of things that have spawned into the game, so we can have a quick look at them. So we know that Muscat, Akkad, Kabul, Venice, Ngazagamu, Ngazagamu will be very handy, Leventa, China, Preslav, Vietnam is in the game, okay, another major player, Taruga, Kandy, Kandy will be good if I want to be Apostoli, Kamasi, Kamasi will be good for trading with city-states, Scythia, Samarkand, Mogadishu, Rome, Fez, we know how effective Fez is. Finding Fez is a priority. Valletta, Geneva, Cahokia, Vatican, Japan is in the game, Kaguna is in the game, Zanzibar, Ayutthaya is in the game, and there was a civil war when that one appeared. Fine. We won't ask too many questions about that one. Here is city number 2, the great city of Mecca. Again, it's not giving my builders extra charges, which I find a little bit annoying, but never mind. What can you do? I'd like the holy site to go there, I believe, on the river next to the mountain. Again, not the best holy site, but it is on a river and it does have some yield on it, which is a good thing. But there looks to be quite a good campus over in this direction, and I'm going to be a bit annoying with my gold. I do not want China to be getting these tiles, so I'm going to just buy them around the corner. I'm just going to do the same thing for these, that one, and then I'll work on the other one in a second, but that'll help, I think, just to sort of consolidate the city a little bit. I've got another trader apparently, so I'll trade with Cairo, but it's a little strange. And where is Magnus? There you go, Magnus into Mecca, and we'll go immediately for provision. There we go. Now we can buy new settlers. How much is a settler? 220 gold. I don't actually get a cost for all of the settlers I already had. I like that. I don't want to get too excited, but check out that if it works. It's the aqueduct with a dam in the middle. I really want that. If I can get that to work, that would be amazing. That dam actually had a space around it that indicated there was once a city there. Maybe there was a barbarian encampment on the ruins of where Mecca is now. I like that remembrance of a classical world, and I'm just building over the top of it. I really like this. This is fascinating. There's Scythia, 1,000 science per turn. Now Scythia is definitely winning this war with China. Absolutely winning the war with China, so I'm going to offer friendship. The usual Gilgabro tactic with Tamiris. I like the idea of getting on side with her. Also, she's a fellow Knight of Solomon, so she gets it. She really does. Yeah, China's not going to like me now. I might have to end up getting involved in this war and maybe stealing that city. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, China. Not going to be... You're not in a good place here. I'll be honest. So I treated myself to another couple of builders in my cities because I've got a lot to improve. But firstly, I've got an industrial zone sat on that tile. I'm wondering if there's something I can chop in this city just to give it a little bit of a food burst. I think I timed this one very well, did I? I've got 5 movement. 1, 2. I can't get onto... Oh, I could get onto that tile in theory, but then not if this one's... Hang on, let me just figure this out. This is expensive, but I'm going to do it just because it's quite efficient. I'm going to go 1, 2, by that tile. I believe I've got enough movement to get the builder onto that with 1 movement. Yep, I do. That tile still belongs to Mecca, so what I can do is stop the builder and the dam and the industrial zone. I can chop that down, give myself a little burst of production and food. That takes me to 4 population. Now I can chop down this tile and pop down a holy site for the grand total of 7 turns because I've actually used most of my production towards it now. Okay, that was very inefficient, but it just meant that I could put the holy site down that turn, which I really wanted to do. There is another city, city number 3 of Hatton. Don't believe I've got rid of the super monument. No, so I will get rid of the super monument if I put down any more cities. So that is something I need to keep in mind. Can Imhotep actually build anything else? Yes. Colosseum, Colossus, Mausoleum, Great Lighthouse. Actually, there's quite a few options. Hatton needs to get itself a harbour pretty urgently, actually. And I could get Mausoleum. Oh, there are options here. There are options here that are quite intriguing. Well, China has denounced me. I don't feel like that's going to be a long-term problem. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I think we can live with that one. Galapagos Islands and Mogadishu. Interesting. Mogadishu has not got anybody liking it. I'm going to actually just change government quickly and get Classical Republic like I wanted to originally. Still got Public Works in it. And now I can pop down Diplomatic League. My favourite card. Everyone knows, but I love it. I really do. Put down Holy Site Adjacency because that will be important in a bit. Wildcard policy? Not a huge amount, but I really need right now. I'll put equestrian orders in because I am actually picking up some of these things. I do have a single trading partner in Scythia, so we'll get a little bit of gold from them while we can. So amazingly, I'm actually above Scythia and China on tech. It seems like it started me on a few more techs, which is worrying. I think there's somebody in the game with a lot of tech that's caused me to spawn heavily. So I'm guessing Babylon. Babylon is normally the answer, or maybe Sumeria. Sumeria sometimes on Deity++ can go a little bit silly. See which way this works. Oh my lord, there's some good tiles being worked in Cairo. I've got my first holy site finished as well. That's good. I mean, annoyingly, I moved my Great Prophet ages away to explore, so I can't get my religion sorted, but never mind. I just got a shrine in that city though, which means I can now actually get a second trade route going, which is amazing. Where am I going to get my trade route to? I've got one from Mecca to Cairo. I think I'll get... These all internal routes? Is it worth doing internal routes? Might be. Although it might be better to send them to Mecca. Yeah, we'll do that for now, but like, I think internal routes are probably going to help us out a little bit. What's in my tribal village? Divine Right. Hey, I was actually going to get that one anyway, but it means I haven't got to force get myself the temples, which is good. No, you're not going to buy my book for 4 gold per turn. Oi! Oi, don't spread religion to me. Rome. Looks like the big gloves of Rome aren't necessarily doing very well. 190 culture per turn for China. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know where you are, but I seem to be friends with you right now. What have you got? Oh, you got some gypsum. I could get some gypsum. Let's get that. Perfect. Here is the shrine though in Cairo. That's 2 cities with holy sites now, which is pretty cool. So I have a couple of other cities now in formation ready to go, but I feel like settling my 4th city is going to get rid of my super monument, and I'm going to reduce my district production by about 50%, which is not great. So I'm kind of reluctant to use it. Might just sit it for a couple more turns whilst I just let this play out. I don't know. I don't know what the right... Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is here. Actually, I've got a bunch of settlers that are going to go down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plonk the first settler up there to start this little formation. I've got one which is going to link up the lake with the sea, which gets me through 2 sources of mercury, a jade, some other good resources. I've got one just sort of generic lake city with a ton of chopping around there. This settler is going over to the Galapagos to go and settle near Galapagos. That would be amazingly handy. Actually, Mecca is now going to start kicking out settlers as well. So... yeah, what I'm going to do actually, Cairo is pretty useful. I would love to get the campus down as soon as I can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plonk down a campus there. And I'm going to get my government plaza there. It gives me access to Casa if I want it a little bit later. It's a semi-decent one. Yeah, you know what? Let's get the government plaza done. I would like to do it so that when I put the settlers down, I get 3 builders. That's a big one for me. I've got loads of gold. I think I might as well use them properly. I'm being allowed to vote. Yay! I'm going to vote for my... there's no religion, is there? I'm going to vote down on Catholicism because it's not... I suspect Sikhism will go through, but this is the one that's being spread to my land. I don't want it to get stronger. If I voted B on it, it would probably get A and it would probably make it worse. We're not going to do that, but I'd love it if I culture bombed. I can sneak that one through. That'll be amazing. 6-year flood. Oh, it's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Unmet. Ah, yeah, Sikhism's got stronger. Okay, well, I thought that might happen. Never mind. The main thing, though, is that although Sikhism was spread to my city, I now have 1, 2, 3 holy sites ready so that when I put down my great prophet and put down my own religion, means it'll scrub all the religion out of my lands, which would be great. Now, what are we going to do? We've got options here. Reliquaries is always a favourite of mine because generating a ton of faith from relics is really, really good, but I think we're a little bit late into the game to be getting that. Work ethic is good as if you can get really good holy site adjacency. I can't at all. Jesuit education, now that would let me use my faith to get myself campus buildings, and campus buildings would be really handy later. That's really appealing to me. Religious community is good for gold. I will get some trade routes, but probably not international routes for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going Jesuit education. We're going full science on this build. Absolutely full science and cross-cultural dialogue. This is where the build gets a little bit fun. So what we're going to do is we are going to start spreading my religion. I'm going to get 1 science for every 4 followers of the religion. That in itself is a lot of fun. But then I'll get another science for every foreign city following my religion on top of that. We saw how much religion we could get late stage into the game earlier. We're going to really make this even better. Just watch. All of my gold right now, I'm just going to continue getting the shrines, and we're going to get the temples. Temple of Solomon's are very, very good. Just gets me a little bit more gold per turn based on my holy site adjacency, which isn't high. I'll admit I've got a +1, a +1, and a +3. I mean, work ethic would have been nigh on useless, but never mind. But it now means I can get myself at least 1 apostle to give myself the religious building. Oh, 7 charges. Look at that. Yeah, it's because it's in my era as well. Oh, this is wonderful. If I can find... I don't think Yerevan appeared on this map, did it? Which is a little bit unfortunate, but probably for the best, seeing as I've had Yerevan the last couple games. Although, what I'm going to do is get myself Moksha out now in Hatton. We're going to give you a few promotions and give myself double promoted apostles. That would be amazing. Let's get Ancestral Hall done quickly. Lovely. We're going to buy my settlers in, so honestly, the production is less than important right now. It's more just using the gold to get settlers. Look at this. This is really, really cheap. Love it. There's my improved government. I think I'm going to get Classical Republic Legacy, but I might just chop it out. I'm just... do I wait? This will give me Republican Legacy cards. I think actually changing my government's fine, isn't it? So we'll go Monarchy. Why not? Equestrian Orders is really giving me very little right now, but it's a little bit of something. I could get conscription. What would be good? What would be useful? I like logistics. Logistics is something really handy for me. I've got ecstatic cities. I don't need retainers. I can get drill manuals to get more niter. That's something I could do. I don't know. Public Works is fine. Right. I always want scripture in because this is giving me more gold as well as faith because of my Temple of Solomon. And I'll get triangular trade in for now, but it's a bit 50-50 as to whether that's any good. I'm just stabilizing my gold per turn, but I've got 40k in the bank still. I've already spent a good 10k of it. It goes so quickly. It really, really does. What promotions have I got? 3 relatively rubbish ones, but we're not going to worry about that for now. I know I could use 4 charges and then evangelize, but I'm not going to waste my time on that. I'm going to evangelize quickly to get my religious building, because I want to get the religious building in as fast as possible. The worship building will give me 10% science, faith, and culture in my cities. It's a huge, huge bonus. The Wat has already been taken, which is a bit of a problem. The Gurdwara would give me food and housing. The Stupa would give me an amenity, but I think I'm going to go for mosque. I want to spread my religion around as much as I can. If I can't get science from Watts, I'm going to instead give myself more charges. So this will give my apostles 1 extra spread. That means in this age, I'll be able to spread them for 8 charges, which is crazy. There's a mosque. That means it's 35 faith, but more importantly, just 10% extra on all of my yields that are relevant. It's so good. Lovely. Yeah, we're only about 10 turns in, and I've already up to 33 science per turn. We are are so far behind, but I do have a bit of a tech advantage. People are catching me quickly. There's a lot of tech on the map here. Oh, I've got so many cities that are just ready to spawn. I'm waiting. It just gives me a couple more turns of the super monument, but it also means that I get 3 builders when I plonk this stuff down. I think it's worth waiting. Let's switch to theocracy as fast as I can. Faith purchasing in this game is going to be big money. Okay, I'm going to get some apostles to start with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and blitz Scythia's religion. It's a difficult time to do it, but they've got 11 cities, and this is at the time I'm getting 8 charge apostles. This is absolutely the time to do it. I'm going to spend my first chunk of faith using them on promotions that are terrible. What we're going to do is we're going to assume that Yerevan's not in this game, and we're going to play the faith promotion lottery like we've discussed before. What happens is the game gives you a random selection of 3 promotions for your apostles. They are totally random. However, once you pick one of those promotions, it gets removed from a lottery pool. So next time you roll, all of the other options that you haven't picked are selected. Then you pick another one, that one disappears as well. That continues over and over and over until you only have 3 left. After that point, the game will only ever give you those 3 promotions. So what I normally do is I normally go for debater, I go for the 75% removal one, I go for the triple strength in other civilizations ones. I go for those really early on, and then they never appear again, ever. I just get the rubbish ones. So I'm going to go for the rubbish promotions first. And then it's going to suck for a little bit, but you'll see it'll all come good eventually. Just you're going to have to trust me. Trust me on it. It's well worth the wait. I'm just spending all of my golden settlers. I could get great people. I think I could get a lot of great people. I'm not bothering. I'm just building settler. I've already bought 4 to go with all of the ones that are waiting. I think this is by far the best play for me. Oh, there's another continent over there as well. It's looking good. There's a lot of options for me right now. I can't lie. Oh, China's got a religion as well. Oh, we're going to enjoy this. So already you can see we're getting 4 science per turn from my beliefs. Just you wait. It's going to go very, very high indeed. And as I say, for promotions, we're going to go for the worst ones to start with. So heathen conversion is absolutely one I do not want later into the game. So we're going to just take the fall on that for now. Just bear with me. If this strategy comes good, don't worry. Martyr, translator, prophesy. These are really good ones. Martyr is the one I don't want out of all of those. So we'll pick that one. We're going to just leave ourselves some brilliant promotions. But that's the Ancestral Hall finished, which means that I could, in theory, now get rid of my super monument. I think I've got 6 turns into the next era. Do I wait? Is it worth waiting 6 turns? I think the argument is no. It is not worth waiting 6 turns. So I'm just gonna go for it now. We're gonna go for 1 city next to Galapagos there. Then we've got another city on that coast. We have another city there, and we have another city there. So we've gone from 3 cities to 7. With a lot more on the way. Did they all start with 1 population? They did, yes. So the super monument has absolutely, well and truly, now disappeared. It's gone. Yeah, we've lost a bit of production on our districts. Never mind. It'll all come good. Don't you worry. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Dayboy91, Seancrates, Portland, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Davalex, Skeptical Bear, Kroger Brand Trailmix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Matthew Hatch, Rom88, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Boy Zorro, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Bear Ray, El Truand, Creston, RB Hedge, Mushkin Mandeltort, Esri Dax, Deeble Time, Shoelace, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Clint Hennes, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear. Thank you all for your support. See you next time. Goodbye.